Okay, 5 o'clock here, 8 o'clock in Ghana, and today is what day is today? Today is 10th,
10.
November 10th, and we are starting our fourth meeting. And our meeting today, I avoid to call it a classroom. Our fourth meeting will be spent with activities. There are two moments, fourth meeting and next one on Wednesday. And I think that these two meetings will allow us to build our schedule, not our planning, but our schedule. I mean, we know what to do because last WBS construction building, and now we're going to enter the how to do and when we will have our work done. And today we have to talk about activities. List of activities is a formal part of building our schedule according to PMI, according to AACE, the best practice, not their properties, but the common knowledge that we have. And it's not a question of American way of doing or the American way of knowing how to do or the European way, but the world has this understands since the first times. But activities are responsible for the energy, the way of things, the products to be done. Our last meeting products, the WBS work package, will be done by a list of activities and their attributes. Today we will also talk about time estimation. The time estimation may come by duration. I mean, a goal we want to have a target to finish them, or you may calculate it by their productivity. If you have the workers, you have the equipment, you have the resource, you may conclude, you may come into the activity's duration. It's a question of an equation. Resource, units to be done, and the time to be the work completed. But we won't talk about productivity, production, or productivity type duration today. We are just talking about activities that have estimated, idealized, or target duration. I will have a pre-work package, a pre-WBS. A pre-WBS example. Let's see here. To start with our ideas, I'd like you to take some place to note, to annotate, to write down what it's new for you, because we are dealing with Microsoft Word. We are dealing some people with Primavera users, and I am sure we are going to talk about different things, different attributes. We are not so close nowadays, now day by day. I've shared my screen. I think you can see it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
How to include a new phase or part of the work, how to divide it into smaller parts. I think you got the idea because I saw your homework. But now we are going to include activities. First way to include activities in our WBS. Please, WBS are not a line, are not just a set of lines. WBS in Spider is a specific objects, and Spider keeps these objects. At the same time, Spider keep the other objects. I mean, another object is activities, or another object is the resource inside activities or any other. So if you see these colored lines here, they're not the same type of lines. When you insert, I mean, you insert with the key, insert key, or you may use action. Action again, where is it? Insert. You may click on right click here. You choose a phase or a work package, and you right click on the head of the line, and you ask for not a new phase but a new activity. So new activities may be included by right click on the proper phase, or ins. If a phase is selected, I selected this line 8. That's a different work package from line 9, 10. And if I select line 9, code 8, WBS code, the structure name 2.3, and press insert key, a lot of activities will be placed under, due to this line code 8, colored by name part 3. So you may insert by the key, or you may insert activities by new activities pop-up menu, or Control plus I, which way you decide. Another way to include activity is double click on the work package and say activity, choose activity tab, activity, new, or select them and delete them, or you may also erase or delete an activity by, what is it? Delete them. So it's intuitive. As I told you, activities are the lines, or are the work responsible to produce this work package. Remember, I'm all time calling your attention for work package, because the work package is the smallest parts. Example 001 is our project name. If I select line 1 and insert activities, you will have activities under the project. But keep in mind, the best practice want us to include activities into our work package, not into our classification items inside of our WBS. You want to be arrested, you want to go to the hell if you do that. But keep in mind that the best practice want us to just include activities under work package. I said activities, not milestones. But activities and milestones are under the same objects in Spider, are under the same table, because not only activities, but also insets, but also our milestones, starts, finish, milestones, this one that are not activity but are in the same object table in Spider, these ones, I think, should be kept near the most interesting parts because milestones are controllers. Milestones are controllers key, and they should be kept near as what we are trying to control. Milestone, the only reason to have milestones is not to show contract milestones, is to keep an eye on our future schedule. That's the reason we'll have milestones. Of course, the drawing on the right will be details on next meeting. In our next meeting, we are focused, we are keeping our attention to the activities that produce our parts. It's very similar to any other project management tool. Include, exclude, delete, or build our list of production work. We talked about layouts because layouts are the best way to display information. And the data, the project's data has too many information to be displayed at the same time in a table. So this 000 base layout means to our WBS. I will erase codes. No, I want to erase code WBS, neither the codes, neither level, not responsible, because you also may you may also attribute responsibles for the activities. Although Joseph is responsible for telling me the results from part 2, although Joseph is responsible for conducting and controlling and making reports about somebody under Joseph, hierarchically under Joseph, may respond to the work to be done to produce part 2. So these responsible will be under Joseph's command, and Joseph and Mamani and Raphael, Joseph, Mamani, Raphael, different responsible from different work package, will report to the project manager. I have not talked about reference to documents, but I will show it today, because it's common not only for WBS, but also for activities. And if you are talking about activities, we have to preserve a new layout called activities. Activities. Because we have to talk about the attributes, the adjectives, the complements from our activity naming. Activity 17, 18, and 18, they must have their proper names, of course, and they must representing verbs what are going to be done. The WBS is a noun, is objects, but the activity should be represented, but not an obligation, based on verbs. Build, develop, it's another one, build, develop, concrete. Is that right? Concrete, when you pour concrete somewhere? Concrete? Okay. Develop. These are the names. First attribute, the most important is name. Remember, there are lots of attributes, and we should keep it in their priority order. Nom, another one, type. Notice I made a right click on the top head of the column and choose type, our standard type, type. Activity classification, first idea. And another attribute, another column should be GHP. I made a list not to be lost here. The DPH and priority. These are the first attributes we must keep in mind. Type, I'm moving my column, just click, holding, and moving it to the right place. Type, DPH type, and the others. Priority, show. Priority, yes, just for. Type, DPH. Type is the classification for your own purpose. I mean, civil, electric, mechanical, mechatronic, control systems, or based farmers, based first work. Anyway, you may classify your types here on type, or you may produce another column with other kind of type. But this type here is the default field from Spyder, just to remember you that you must classify the work you do by some way that is interest for your type of projects. But DPH type means that you have to set which kind of activity we're going to talk about. Duration, that's because we will estimate a time for these activities to be done. That's the target way of keeping a schedule. I have 5 days, 20 days, 100 days to produce the concrete or the develop and all this work according to the way I will link them. We'll keep the part 2 ready. We'll make part 2 ready. Duration, hammock, milestone. I have just made a double click here. Double click. You may choose duration as we are going to use now. Hammock, milestones. Okay, milestones. First start is a milestone. Duration is a milestone. Finish. Sorry. Milestone. If I had 2 milestones for direct work, double click. If I had for this phase 2 milestones, okay. Where is it? Here. Start and finish. But not just the start. I advise you to say project starts. Advice? Yes, advice. Project finish. And this starts to say direct work starts, direct work finish. They are close to its controlled phase. They are close to its project control elements, objects. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fields, 4 attributes. I will make a new field here. I will set a new field here called properties and say it's just for coloring. Is color. No title. Codes. Code is code something. Is color. No name. Okay. Double click. Double click came into our color palette. Okay, I will make it black. There is a feature here. If you right click, you may propagate downwards. if you make a click here and with shift click here, you will select all the cells and you will fill with a color, a value. But instead of selecting, I may just right click and propagate downwards, just for separation, just for keeping this 1, 2, 3, 4 attributes together, because it is a layout. That's my way, not your obligation, but that's my way of keeping these layouts, the current layouts, easy to understand. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next two attributes I wrote here now, quantity, show quantity, and show volume. This of course, for Mamani, Joseph, may be very obvious, but it's not really obvious for people who work with projects. Volume remaining, volume cumulative, volume actual, volume remaining. Keep it in mind, you know in the future why. Quantity, and no, sorry, not quantity, my God, delete it. Delete it. Oh, height, it's okay, height. Volume and unity. Sorry for my mistake. Unit. Units of volume. Here. When you build something, you build a number of something. When you develop something, you develop a number of something. And that's very important when you work with productivity type of activity, type of modeling activities. Anyway, we must set here, even we working with duration, the volume of the work that is being done. I will build 12 pieces. Notes I wrote down here, unit of volume, piece. I will develop 300 procedures. Procedures in IT are important to be monitored and kept under an eye. And I will concrete to 20 cubic meters. These two information are too important because when you work, when you produce some amount of quantity to have your part 2 be built. And only if you have part 1, part 2, 3, and 4 completed, you will finish your direct work. Only if you finish your direct work, keeping your indirect work complete. Also, you will able my God, to finish and to declare finished. Yes, you will be able to complete your work and give it to a contractor. So these two attributes are too important. Just a question. Mamani and Joseph do not disagree with that. Am I right?
No, I do not agree with that. It's you are right on point.
Why you are not agreeing with all the things I said?
Oh, I'm saying that I do agree with you. You are right on point.
Okay. And Rafael, do you use to declare the volume to be done in your planning or just receive it from your contractors, your partners?
Most of the time, the principal materials, I send the quantity, and then I not receive in the future the little parts. So I don't control volume.
Okay, but
there.
you don't control volumes, but you pay because you receive some volumes.
Sure.
So how do you know that you are paying volumes that were planned in order to compare what you have planned and what you have received to make your payments and formal acceptance?
We pay on the principal materials
Mm,
and we measure about the conclusion of the work.
okay, and the work is concluded by percentage. Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay, Mamani and Joseph, do you pay by things done or by percent? Or do you receive by things done or by percent of what have you done?
Yeah, it depends on the contract and the terms that was set in. Sometimes it's when a particular phase of work is done. Sometimes it's according to contract, the quantity of work done. Yeah, it's actually depends on the work that is being measured.
Okay, Joseph, you have to tell me and to teach me what is different in your opinion, because I think I must know it. I have something to learn. And volume and unit are the two other attributes I consider as minimum to have in your schedule. I will have to keep another new field, properties, a empty name, a code, color, double click, sorry, properties is color, double click, black, propagate downward, just to keep this items separated. No, not something so important. And there are two other fields that are important to report: reference and notes. You know, notes, it's not less important than the others, but I made some priority classification here. Responsible notes, sorry, not responsible note, responsible reference and notes. Responsible reference and notes. Responsible reference and notes. Responsible, you know what is. Notes we are using since last meeting. But reference, something new and interesting here. I preserve the layout. Guns, layout, save as current. But if you have part two, this part two came from a statement, came from your contract. Somewhere in your contract must describes what part two is and is composed by. So you just double click here. It opens your Explorer, your file window, structure file window, files window, and you may choose your contracts here or part two description here, details here. Okay, it will be kept here, not the complete information from the file, but just a link to the file. If you keep an eye on, if you're tracking your information, your production here, you are able to double click here and the file will come, or the information, sorry, or the information regarding the description of for the regarding to the characteristics or requisites, prerequisites. I don't know. Or Rafael, how do you say requisitos in English?
Let me check because I don't remember.
Registry. Registry. Mamani, Joseph is so near to Thiago that probably he knows how to say that. Okay, but just a link to the file. No, if you right click here and say and choose setting, not selecting file or even selecting a folder, because there are so many information about part two, so many information about build one, that you will have to link a folder. Double click here. Instead of a file, I have a complete set of information. Of course, there is nothing here, but a complete set of files and information about build 01. It's a link, not the information inside my Spider file. It's a link to the information. In MS Project, when you include some information in notes, a lot of bytes coming into your file, and it increase sometimes into gigabytes. And this way, using reference to documents, folders, you keep it, I think, a bit more administrators, a bit more controlled. But if you do not want to have just one link, you may say settings. You may do it. Settings, concrete tree. I will add a file to explain how to do it. Okay. I will add a folder just to keep all the procedures, equipments, safety procedures we have to comply. I have two links, but these links are not so easy to understand. So I may edit it and say doc. Okay, I may edit the second one and give it a title, doc. Okay, when I come here to line 11, code 18, develop 02, and I pass over with the mouse here, the two docs will be displayed in a two-tip screen. But if I click on it, double click on it, I will read doc 1, doc 2, but doc 2 is not so well written. I will set it to doc 2, capital letter. Oh my God. Doc 2. Okay, double click. Doc 1, Doc 2. So it is easy to understand what are the documents attached to this develop 02. So you keep here all the documents, all the necessary, all documents you need to understand what means just develop 02. That's useful when you are documenting and you are defining volumes, goals, resources to be used. So these three, not only for notes, but also for reference. And as Joseph said, was, I forgot the word, description, no, what? Registries, I think registries, Joseph said. Okay?
No, this guy, Raphael brought the correct word. It's requirements.
Requirements. Okay, I write it down. Requirements. Requirements. And notes, you know, but after notes, the three new fields that presents new fields, double click, no name, codes, is color. I will repeat the process. Is color, is reference, is note. The field must be not a text, but a note. Autofill, hierarchical identity. There are a lot of things you may try and fail, or try and be successful. but you must try it. And is color, double click, black one again, drop down. Now it's nice and beautiful. Four fields, 4 attributes, 2 attributes, 3 attributes, and the last two one. That the last two one that Spider keeps as ready for you to use. Double click in activity, because there are much more attributes that I'm not showing you, but they are here. Name codes, the same as we did with phases, double click. Name code type activities that are inside the phase, phase under phases, reference, as I have just presented to you, showed you, and notes that documentate your phase. Activities, when you double click, has its own data window. Phases are different from activities because they are different objects. They are different tables. There are different data tables inside Spider. And activities have much more information than phases. Anyway, additional information, and I'll talk to you now about interruptible and continuous. That's right, yes. Interruptible and continuous. I won't talk about others. Not today. So interruptible, show column, interruptible, and show column, continuous. Okay. Milestones are really not interruptibles because they have no time. And they are not continuous because they have no time. They are an instance of some information, some completion or some start. But build 01, 12 pieces. This activity may be interrupted or not. Yes, it may be interrupted. Of course, it is not continuous. But if I say it is continuous, they won't be interruptible. Okay, again, builds, additional. If they are interruptible, they are not continuous. But if they are continuous, it is continuous, activity continuous, it won't be interrupted. If you set interruptible here, of course, it is not continuous. But if you set here continuous, it won't be interruptible. Okay? This kind of set is not working here. Yes, it is interruptible. And it is not continuous. It cannot be interruptible and continuous at the same time. So I display these two columns here to show that you must pay attention to your settings. Mamani, could you give him an example that's a kind of a sort or one activity that cannot be interrupted?
An activity that cannot be interrupted.
Yes.
As in, once it starts and unless it finishes.
Once you start, you cannot stop it. Just when you finish.
On top of my head, I'm trying to think of one.
Okay, Joseph.
It's kind of hard.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, well, there
Rafael.
was one. I think of one activity where constructing, casting concrete for the apron.
Okay. Write it down on write it down on your chats here.
Okay.
I thought the same. When you are working with concrete.
Yes,
Where's the chat?
everybody use this example.
down.
Rafael, give
When
me
you're
an
painting, it's also can be the same when you're painting.
painting some walls, painting something. Please just help me to understand why is not interruptible. Concrete, I know that's concrete here. Concretation, I don't know. Yes, it's interruptible, not continuous. But please tell me,
When
tell me,
you print the layers, the composite of the material, the concentrates, it can be different the day, and a week later the weather can modify. So
okay,
it's a pleasure. It's recommended that not to be interrupted.
great. So, as I'm not so convinced of that, you should write here, do not stop it, no way, or I will kill you. That you really would convince me about not interrupting painting. But I'm not talking about concrete. It's obvious. Okay? The note, when you say do not interrupt, it will create a constraint to your schedule. You must keep your constraints in your schedule next meeting on Wednesday. But if you say do not interrupt, it must be obvious. It must be without any question. And I would say if you stop your painting today and continue it tomorrow, I will accept the difference in colors. I will accept the difference between tones or something like that. That's because I made a note. Do not stop it, no way. There must be a requirement inside our documentation. Let's see here. Painting, doc 1. Here, somewhere here says, do the paints in such a way you cannot finish until. So there's a requirement. Did you understand what I intend to say, or Joseph Mamani?
Please go various again.
So yes, it's an interruptible. No, it's not interruptible here. And no, it's not interruptible here. But build something I don't know what is, yes, it may be interrupted. You may interrupt it. And remember, what you write here, what you set here, must be compatible with the other fields. When you do it by additional tab, not interrupt, but continuous, yes. But if you do not say that's continuous, for default, it is if you say yes, it's not continuous. But if you do not say anything, interruptible, no. So of course, it will be a always continuous activity. If you look to our schedule, there is no effect on the bars, because yes, that's an information for the future calculation regarding to the number of resource, the number of spaces you have. So constraints will be applied here if you say yes, it's interruptible, and the way schedule will be calculated depends on these two columns here. Do you ever saw this kind of information in your schedule, Joseph, when working with Thiago's schedules? No. Amani, have you ever seen such modeling?
No, I've never come across anything like that.
I think it doesn't exist in Primavera, but I'm sure this kind of thing doesn't exists in Microsoft Project. Okay, now I have a layout, a complete layout setting, layout for work WBS. For a WBS, okay, WBS does not contain activities, so just all phases, and milestones. Gantt layouts preserve 00 base layouts. If you go to activities, completely expanded. This is the layout to list activities and to set activities information and quantify what these activities will produce and typify, or make types here to inform software the way it will calculate the schedule. Joseph, till now, any question, any observation?
I'm okay.
Mamani? Rafael?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's clear.
I have a
Yes, Sigma.
question in the DPH type, the word switch.
Okay.
How can you use switch in this case?
Switch is not covered by our intentions, but switch means this activity, let's calculate it here, because the symbol is different. Milestone. Okay, a milestone is a small diamond here, and the activities has its bars. As long as the time where's the time? I have not started. The time you decide. But switch means if I do this first next Wednesday, and then I do the other after, when you calculate, you see the way things will be done. This is the way things will be done if you want or not. But sometimes, instead of doing the second, you could do another branch. You could start to follow another branch, not going into this branch, this sequence, this set of activities, production activities. You may decide to go into another one. All I have done here is for our next Wednesday meeting. Instead of going through this branch, short one, I will decide to go to this longest other. Instead of linking, I could say that there would be a milestone after this activity, and this milestone could switch. These milestones are just milestones, just to show where you are. But if you use a switch, a small diamond will appear here after the end of this activity, and this small milestone, the small diamond, would switch to follow first branch or follow the second branch. It's a switch, or you go by this way, or you go by this way. If you go this way, all the calculations, estimations, all the consuming will be forgotten. You will consider just the switch, the way the switch is set to. That
All
was
right.
clear.
So you have to put in the line 40 switch, or you have to put in the line 13 switch.
I should create a new line call it switch, and this should be a small diamond, and I should link things, including the switch,
All right,
in
all right,
order.
I got it.
But we are not talking about it, although we have talked about. We're not talking about switch, or because there's not just switch. There's a switch and a trigger. There are two different modeling ways of taking different schedules dynamically, not
Right.
previously. I mean, for contingency risks,
Yeah, that was what was I think here the switch when you were explaining, but the trigger and hammock it's clear for me. So
Hammock is for next meeting. Joseph Mamani have you seen switches in Thiago's work?
Well, I've never seen Switch. This is my first time hearing about it.
Although you were not talking
No.
about switch.
I've also not seen it yet.
Although you're not talking about switch. Okay, first attributes are here, but our work this meeting must include duration estimation. So I think I've talked about phases or work package window properties for the general and additional. And we did not mention about path to FC or path to chat file, but notes are very important. So we use the notes as a way of communicating with colleagues, partners by the uploading Webby, uploading our data into Webby. Today we're talking about, first slide was for projects. And as projects are kind of phases and work package are the same. But today we talk about preferences, a reference, where we could keep information about the phase requirements, as Rafael said, requirements, the characteristics, documentations, obligations for the phase. You can keep it in your reference for a quick access. And of course, notes are too important. Phases under phases. And activities, if you have an activity inside the phase, the activities will be shown on activity tab information screen. And when you talk about activities, you have much more data information here. Data for activity itself, the resource used in this activity, the resource production of the resource used in these activities, cost component, materials, a lot of things. And remember, as an activity must be set as a milestone, comes into Rafael question. You may adjust switch and trigger options if the activity is not an activity, it's a milestone or a switch. Reference, as we have seen, notes that are really important to, where is the second screen? Here. Interruptible. Okay. Where is my PowerPoint? Where is my PowerPoint? Where's my PowerPoint? Just a minute. Here. 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 And on the second tab, we talked about interruptible, continuous. There are other adjusts, there are other possible information, possible adjusts here, but we're not going to talk about it. What happened? Remote connection. Before going into remote connection, we must talk about estimation, duration, estimation. I think the most interesting here, for duration information, yes, duration, standard duration, where is do? duration days actual. The real time, the real worked time on the activity. Duration days, critical. Duration days, cumulative. Also, I mean, the cumulative means what I have done and what I have to be done together. Duration days remaining is our main object here, the main topic. Remaining, as we have not started anything, have not produced anything, the remaining duration is the same as cumulative duration. As I have nothing done, nothing, I have not done nothing yet. The amount of time I have to spend is the same amount of time for the activity completion. If I produce something that I use 2 days for build 1, remaining duration won't be 5, of course. 5 less 2 days used, 2 days occurrence, I will have just 3 days as remaining duration. As we are on the beginning of our work, I mean, we have done nothing, we're just planning. I have not done anything yet. So, how long does it take? How long will it take? 5 days. When we start executing the activities from our projects, the duration, the cumulative duration, we will have 2 parts: the remaining to be done and the actual duration. Let's see actual duration. Actual duration, actual duration. Remember, duration days and duration hours. I'm just using here duration days. So, no actual days because I have done nothing, plus remaining 5 to be done because I have done nothing, keeps my activity with a total of 5 days to be completed. It was clear?
Yeah, it is.
Did you know the difference, or have you the perception of a difference between these 2 names, remaining and cumulative, in Spider, Joseph, because you have worked with Thiago?
I'm just learning about it.
Mamani,
I only knew of the remaining days, but I didn't know about the cumulative.
Yeah, I also just knew of days remaining and days actual, but I don't know of the cumulative.
Mamani, we do also have things in projects, remaining duration and cumulative duration and actual duration, but they do not call this in such a way. They use different names. Sometimes it make you be a bit confused because when they say duration in projects, which duration is it? The remaining duration or the planned duration or actual? Of course, you may find this field in project, but it's not so intuitive or not so commonly discussed. Rafael, action, menu, action, autofill all columns. Autofill all columns or Control-Shift-W. Control-Shift-W. All the columns width will be adjusted automatically. And you may preserve your layouts. Okay, first layout, 000 base without activities because we adjusted for all phases. 10 activities, all the activities. If you really want to see all, just set activities and reinforce project as current. Okay, Mamani, what happened to Mamani? Okay, Rafael.
Yeah, yeah, it just exited.
Okay, Rafael raised his hand.
If I save the spider, but that didn't save the layout, it's gonna be the same.
No, because no, it's too strong. If you open your Spider next time at the same screen, I think it will keep what you have done. But if you change it to another layout, you will lose it if you do not preserve it first. Oh, by the way, there is a break here. Okay, drop down again, and just to make it beautiful forever, I will save in project as current. Joseph, you have not to place this color separate columns here. I made it just for a didactic way. 1, 2, 3, 4 attributes. 1, 2, different level 2. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Last. Oh, there's another. Propagate down or preserve. Save. Okay. Of course, you are not going to see yet. You're not going to see this beautiful picture here yet. It is waited for for next meeting on Wednesday, where we will build some nets, linkings, constraints, and finally the Gantt diagram in a CPM way. CPM way means critical path way regarding resource, regarding money, regarding any typical constraints we have. I think when I finish the idea for this meeting, the stuff for this meeting, and remember, after finishing, and Mama and Joseph and I will proceed after this meeting together to study remote connection. Remote connection, notes is available here, Gantt, upload, as I have the path to publish my data is just to click on OK. Looking for the site. And what's here? Spider. MEP is, where is it? MP, and what's here? Where is it? MP, ACM. MP, here. Okay, just see all the lines I have here. All the data I preserved in my layouts. The colors here is 0. So the developer, web developer, did not pay attention to this important detail. My split bars. Instead of a black cell, it has 0 color information. And we are not interested on schedules, Gantt, but you see here the number of days, the amount of time we imagine to estimate our activities. I will move nodes near here. Where is nodes? Nodes near duration. Okay, 5 days. I think Should be 10 days. Waiting, waiting. Again. Oh, it's not working. 10 days. Mama, Joseph, I don't think it's not just it's just your problem. I think it's our problem. 10 days. I don't know what's not working because sharing my screen or something like that, it's not working together. But it's keeping the information. Okay. Supposing that it will happen and work it okay, I will try to download from web. Download from web. Notes here. It must appear here. I think should be 10 days. So instead of 12, I will set 10 days, keep it considered, accepted, and done. And here, 10 days, I will make my change here, say, okay, I accepted it. If my team opens their Vision, their websites, their browser, they will see, okay, I have accepted it, and they will see 10 days as estimation for activity 13. Okay? Now it's 6 hours and 14 minutes, or 14 minutes later. Just to finish, remember to execute your remote connections, to publish your contents, ask your friend to see, imagine, ask different people, not Mamani Joseph or Joseph Mamani, ask people to reach your link, to make comments, just to show them that it's possible to interact with you as an exercise. Upload to web download. We have finished our 4th meeting with the 15 minutes or more. Okay?
Okay.
Joseph, still,
I've been able to do it, so thank you.
Okay. Rafael?
Rafael is gone to work. He's left for
Yes,
work.
because he has to work. Some people have to work these days. Mama, if you decide to stay, please keep it here, but I'm sharing my screen now with Joseph. I think Joseph, you will share his screen with me.
I said I have been able to do it, but let me share my screen just in case.
Okay. Okay, I see your screen, and go to Guns menu, please. Menu item Guns.
Can you see?
Yes, Guns, and upload to web. On the top menu, second item, Guns.
Yes, I've done it, but
I can't see.
you can see.
Guns. Probably Joseph sharing just the window. You have to share your screen.
Okay, sorry. Let me try again.
Let me try again. It's a Frank Sinatra song. Let me try again. Let me try again.
Okay, can you see now?
Yes, I see. Subfolder, okay, 000. So it's very easy to
Okay. Let me add one more.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see the folder appearing here. I'm trying to open it, and I see everything here. I can see everything here now.
Okay, so the subsystem error, editing is not allowed. Please contact your administrator.
Where is that? Where did you see it?
I tried to open the file that I just uploaded.
I sent to you now by Telegram what I'm seeing here. Where is Telegram? Here. Okay. That's what I'm seeing here. You publish and I can see it, but you cannot do it by yourself.
Okay.
But yesterday I could not see your approach. I will make some changes here in notes to make sure you can download. Peraí, just wait. Do you know peraí?
But
Important.
wait.
Yes, peraí, okay. Yes.
Yes. So the one that I just uploaded is 000 ended with 2111. But the one that you open is the 00000.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, here. Opening. I see the same thing. I'll take a picture here.
But did it say logged system error or something?
For you? No, I have no error message here. I
Okay.
had no error message.
Okay, maybe it's because I'm the one opening it.
Yeah, no. That's because your browser, your firewall is something that's keeping your Windows firewall sometimes give this kind of headache. Yes, I will write down. Well, I will write peraí. Okay, peraí here. Peraí here. Peraí here. Okay, you may download from web now. Mamãe is seeing this too.
Yes.
Try to download now.
Okay. Okay. It's came.
Peraí, ó. Peraí.
Yes, it came. Mamani
try
also
to-
wrote some notes. Mamani testing notes.
Joseph, go to upload to web again. Mamãe, pay attention to this simple detail. At the bottom, you have HTML only, without PHP. If you choose to check this box, you will have the same information in web. But the partner, your colleague, your contractor, subcontractor, boss, immediate boss, won't be able to edit the node field. He will just see what's happening. He cannot communicate. Why this just was included recently? Because the file you upload, when you do not set this checkbox, becomes a little bigger than the one when you use this box checked. So if you want to make a very small file, a very small amount of data in a web browser to be quickly accessed, you may use HTML just only. So you want to have the bidirectional communication, but people will see everything they need, even not talking with you, but in a fast way. Did you got it? Have you got it? Okay. If you have any question, if you decide to do any test, just use Telegram, okay? My money what? My money? Joseph went out. Okay. My money,
Yeah.
do you have any question or any observation or any?
Oh, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. All clear.
Okay. So bye-bye for everybody.
Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.